Okay, so here is the update on the progress with my habit tracking. So December kind of went out the window, and towards the end of the month, I just completely quit tracking. But I mean, it was fine. I've kind of reassessed and reevaluated some of my goals and some of the habits I want to do to kind of work towards those goals. So, yeah, I'm not even going to review this because I mean, I did okay, but yeah, so I'm kind of like I've been doing through this whole process, I just do it kind of month by month, and then at the end of the month kind of reassess what's working, what's not, and keep the habits that seem to be useful and kind of drop the ones that I'm not really into anymore. So I did keep some of these, but then I dropped and edited some of the other ones, so you'll see how that looks on the other one. Also, like I talked about in the last months, I had switched, like I had started out last year doing month by month, and then I got into like moon cycle type of stuff, and so I started kind of tracking based on the moon cycle, but I think for me, the month by month makes more sense. So this year I'm going to be going all year, probably month by month. So that's where we're starting this year on January 1st, which is today. So I kept the first few things because these have been working for me. So my goal is still to be up out of bed before 5 a.m. I get a star if I make it up before 4. I'm starting a new workout program Monday, so tomorrow. And so whenever I do my workouts, I'll mark those here. I plan to work out 5 days a week. And then Saturday I'll do cardio. And then Sunday, I'm wanting to get back into yoga a little bit. So I'm planning to just do like some home yoga on Sunday. So that's kind of what I've got for Saturday and Sunday there. Still liking the walking on the treadmill for an hour, and then if I don't have access to a treadmill, my goal is to get at least 7,000 steps in the day. Study 30 minutes. That's working really, really well in terms of keeping me on track with keeping my mind into my school and work stuff. So while I walk on the treadmill, I bring my papers with me or a book, and I will read while I'm walking on the treadmill. I'm gonna stick with that. Here I had been doing for a couple of months, practicing wearing heels and a posture brace because I am hoping to compete in a bodybuilding competition, and I felt like those were some things that would help me, if I do get on stage. But now I'm like, it's gonna be at least 18 months or so before I do that, so I'm kind of taking that out. I don't really want to focus too much on that. My posture is actually pretty good. I wore the brace for several months, just throughout the day, and I feel like my posture has improved quite a bit. So I don't know, I'll keep an eye on it. Maybe I'll bring that back in occasionally, but I don't think I want to track it. I don't think it's something that I want to just track daily. Let's see. Yeah, I was still struggling. Like, these orange ones were kind of like the main thing that I wanted to do because I feel like I've got a really good morning routine now. I'm getting up, I'm getting a workout in, getting the day started, getting some studying done. But then it's kind of like I struggle still a little bit to get into my work and get to work and be productive and not get distracted. And I was trying to do, I'm about to the point where I'm going to start working a little bit more on my dissertation. And so I wanted to get into the habit of writing a little bit every day, but I was just struggling to find like things to write. It's not something that I necessarily need to write every day at this point yet. So I was having trouble like working that in. So I feel like I put that in there. Yeah. Okay, so since this wasn't really totally working, because I wanted to be at work by 9 a.m. Most days I was at work by 9, get a star for 8 a.m. And then work and study at least 4 hours, a star for 6 hours. I'm being a little bit more ambitious this time. So I put on here, so after I get back from the gym, I have a mark on here to either review my to-do list if I already have it together. I normally try to make a to-do list like the night before. So either review my to-do list or put my to-do list together and then check my emails. And then I'm hoping that that's something that's easy, that I'll sit down at my desk and be doing, and then that can roll me into getting into work. So we'll see how that goes. And then yeah, still the goal to work by 9 a.m., probably 8 every day. And then I bumped this up to a solid 6 hours of work, star if it's 8 hours. So I feel like I have been getting, my 40 hours a week in every week, but it's not been really consistent. It's been like one day I'll work like 12 hours or more. One day I'll work like 4 hours, and it's not like super consistent. It's like when I have something due, I will work like a ton of hours, but then when I don't have something due, it's kind of hard to get me to sit and work like a solid number of hours, and it's hard for me to track. But I do want to try, like now that I've got my dissertation going, like even if I don't really have anything pressing to do, I think I've got an idea of like things I could be researching, things I could be looking up, and kind of working towards that. So I do want to try to get it on track. Finally, it's been something I've been working on for like 10 years now, of like being self-motivated and self-driven to, just do work, not just when it's due, but consistently doing work, so I can not just be meeting deadlines, but actually doing more. So that is my goal. And then in here, instead of the writing for 20 minutes, I changed it to read or write for an hour and a star for 2 hours. I've got a lot of books that I'm planning to read, and so I feel like if it's like a day that I can't think of anything to write, or I don't know what to write, I will read instead. So I'm hoping that will kind of keep me on track, so when I do get in dissertation mode, I'll already have like kind of a time set aside that I'm already like there, that I can just write on those days that I need to write. I have a work tracker, like a document on my computer that I've been using to just kind of track my daily tasks that I'm getting done every day and keep track of like what needs to be done the next day. And so that's been working really well, but I'll show you here in a second. I bought a new planner, but I'm one of those people that buys planners and then just never really uses them because I haven't found like the one that works well for me. I think this process that I've been doing for the last year with the habit tracker and the document on my computer and kind of this goal sheet that I'm going to show you has been working really well for me. I think my brain is so different from most people that like no planner that's already like set out and formatted is gonna be what I need, because I don't stick to things very well, and I like to change things. So this has been good enough that I'm able to kind of like modify and change things, that seems to be working for me. But I may try this planner, but we'll see. So that may take the place of track work, or I may do both of them, or I don't know. And then I got rid of, so like laying out my clothes, filling water, that's just something that's kind of a given, and I don't feel like I really need to lay out my clothes. But this is more like what's gonna get me, I'm hoping, into just kind of like my settling down for the night. So I have like water glasses around my house that I keep just to make sure I'm drinking water and having them available. And I have a big water filter. And if I don't like make a note to fill it, then I won't fill it, and I don't have my filtered water. So I'm keeping that in every night to check the water, make sure I've got, water around, so I make sure I'm drinking enough. And then if there's any like dishes or chores, I'm hoping that putting this here, because the water is an easy thing to do, and then I'm hoping that will kind of roll me into getting some chores done around the house at night. And so yeah, but I didn't really like specify all these different things to do. What else? So yeah, I left some blanks. I don't know if there's like some other things that I may add on here throughout the month, but for now, like my main focus is going to be on school. I'm going to have a pretty busy semester, and the school and the workout. So that's going to be my main focus. The last one I had focused on like doing some work on the house, because I'm trying to kind of like renovate a little bit and paint the rooms, because my house is like an older house that my grandparents owned. But I think I've got all of the rooms that I use mostly set up the way that it's going to be usable. Like I've still got some other rooms to organize, but I'm going to put that off to the side for now. Like I've got the house set up that's usable for me right now in a way that I like, so I'm just not going to worry about the rest of it until later on whenever I have more time. So I took that off my list. I also took off showering because I don't know, I've always felt it was weird to put that on there, but it was something just kind of easy to mark off, and then it would also keep me like, so I would know like when I showered, because if I didn't shower every day, then I would forget when was the last time I showered. But I think I'm gonna try to start showering every day, just so I'm back into a habit of doing that. So yeah, I don't know, that one may or may not show up again. But I have this calorie thing to mark down. It was 2,000 calories, but on this new plan, my goal is 1,700 calories, so I gave myself a little bit of a buffer with the 1,800 calories. So if I'm less than that, I'll mark it off. And then I've been doing my journal videos, so this kind of helps me keep track of which ones I've filmed and when they've gotten posted. So yeah, that's my new habit tracker, and I think it's gonna be good. I feel pretty optimistic about it. I'm pretty optimistic about this year. So in addition to the habit tracker, you know, for the last few months, I've also been just taking a piece of notebook paper, because these are all kind of like daily things or every other day sort of things that I can mark off. But then there's some things that are just kind of like, I don't have to work on them every day. It's maybe like a weekly goal. And so that's what I've been doing. And so yeah, so I got a lot of the stuff done, marked off, that I'd had planned for last month. I still need to finish this concept paper. I had planned to do it before Christmas, but I've got plans on this next one to get it done very soon. But yeah, so here's my new goals coming up. So yeah, get my concept paper finished and submitted. I'm starting a class, so I want to read that textbook. And then there's just lots of, I don't really have a lot of work stuff that's due in January. We kind of finished up a lot of our stuff at the end of the year. And I'm kind of waiting around for some more work things. So I just kind of, specifically, like this week is going to be mostly my concept paper and getting ready for my class. And then this week is just kind of random, like little organizational things I can do to get ready for the upcoming year with work while I wait for the new data to come out. And then I've got some stuff that I do just like every week. Like I film my journal videos, meal prep. I do a update video on my workout plan, bills, you know, just things that I do every week and just can mark them off pretty easily. And then, yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to need to do towards the end of the month. So again, this was just kind of some things that I thought may be useful towards work in my class. And so I got some of that stuff down, and then I've got some dates written down here to remember for things that maybe due in the future. But yeah, overall, I feel like it's a little bit ambitious with all of this work stuff that I put on here, but I think it'll be good. As long as I can stick to that, getting 6 to 8 hours of work in every day, and just having a plan of things that I can do within that time, I think I'm going to be able to do it. I think it's going to be good for work and good for building that habit of, you know, making a habit of getting a lot of work done every day. And so yeah, we'll see how this goes. We'll see if I get this all filled in. And then here's the journal that I got. I don't know what the name of it was. I looked around on Amazon for a while. Okay, Rotor Runner Purpose Planner. And I got it because it specifically, I liked these daily, or these kind of weekly pages. Like I like that it has like, here's your focus in the morning, you can plan out your day, here's your night plans. But I don't know if I'll use this. And it's got the monthly pages and then kind of monthly goals. But I'm already kind of doing that with the notebook paper, so I don't know. One thing I did like, which I didn't need this journal to do this, was a reading list. And so my degree is in economics, and I just feel like I'd like to know more about economic stuff. So I've got kind of a lot of like baseline economics books that like we talked about in some of my classes, but I'd not actually like read the book. And some of these are for my class, and some of these are just kind of like, some of these are for my dissertation, but this is kind of like a 6-month reading list. So I just kind of jotted down some books that I've had on my bookshelf that I want to read. And so I'm kind of incorporating this into that goal sheet that I did. So I did like having a reading list. I like this bucket list too, but once I sat down and started thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know what my bucket list is. So I can't think of many things to put on my bucket list. So this is something I may come back to, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I may use this, but I think I like what I'm doing with my other stuff. Now that I actually have this planner in my hand, I don't know if I'm actually going to use it. We'll see. It's a possibility. This may pop back up at some point, but those are my plans. Goal is, you know, school and work and getting it taken care of. And there's my little kitty that's been helping me every day. So we'll see. I'll do an update at the end of the month to see if this is still working for me.